What did Jesus mean by talking about, "You should be brought back to life"? Chicago Church of Christ invites all students at all levels in their profound excursion with the Master. Beneath, we examine the examples from Jesus in John 3 verse 3. Jesus once shared with Nicodemus that to see the realm of God, he should be brought back to life. Taken from the book of John, this well-known stanza is one that Christians all around the world know about, and ought to breathe easy because of. This example from Jesus is in many cases referred to in absolutions as submersion, representing the cycle that happens when one is brought back to life in Christ. The sum of John 3 is an extremely strong section of the Holy Book. Basically everybody perceives the heaviness of John 3 verse 16, which is a piece of a similar scriptural story as John 3 verse 3. In John 3 verse 16, the Holy Book lets Christians know that God so cherished the world that he gave his solitary child, that whoever has faith in him will not die yet have timeless life. Taking into account John 3 verse 3, considering the whole section, and specifically, John 3 verse 16, can assist Christians with understanding God's message all the more obviously. In the event that you're keen on bringing a profound jump into Jesus' words when he pronounced Christians should be brought back to life, read on. John 3 verse 3, Jesus says that Christians should be brought back to life. In the New Worldwide Form of the Good Book, John 3 verse 3 peruses. Jesus answered, "Really I tell you, nobody can see the realm of God except if they are brought back to life." In the New Living Interpretation, the section peruses. Jesus answered, "I come clean with you. Except if you are brought back to life, you can't see the realm of God." Furthermore, ultimately, the Enhanced Book of Scriptures gives the accompanying. Jesus responded to him, "I guarantee you and most gravely share with you, except if an individual is brought back to life, reborn from a higher place, profoundly changed, recharged, sanctified, he can't, ever, see and experience the realm of God." Taken together, we can plainly see the mark of the message, regardless of which rendition of the good book you like as a devotee. The heaviness of John 3 verse 3 gives trustworthiness to the way that the Holy Book is still so engaging to our lives today. Through perusing its valid and precise illustrations, our lives can be changed. The stanzas that follow John 3 verse 3 are useful in giving somewhat additional background information to the expressions of Jesus while discussing the entry into the realm of God. Similarly, as with practically any one specific stanza, its actual message depends by and large on its setting inside a whole section. John 3 peruses as follows. Jesus instructs Nicodemus. 1 Now there was a Pharisee, a man named Nicodemus, who was an individual from the Jewish decision chamber. 2 He came to Jesus around evening time and said, "Rabbi, we realize that you are an educator who has come from God. For nobody could play out the signs you are doing in the event that God were not with him." 3 Jesus answered, "Really I tell you, nobody can see the realm of God except if they are brought back to life." 4 How might somebody be conceived when they are old? Nicodemus inquired. Definitely they can't enter a second time into their mom's belly to be conceived. 5 Jesus replied, "Genuinely I tell you, nobody can enter the realm of God except if they are brought into the world of water and the soul." 6 Tissue brings forth tissue, however the soul brings forth soul. 7 You ought not be astounded at my adage, you should be brought back to life. 8 The breeze blows any place it satisfies. You hear its sound, however you can't tell where it comes from or where it is going. So it is with everybody brought into the world of the soul. 9 How is this possible? Nicodemus inquired. 10 You are Israel's instructor, said Jesus. And do you not grasp these things? 11 Really I tell you, we discuss what we know, and we vouch for what we have seen, yet at the same time you individuals don't acknowledge our declaration. 12. I have addressed you of natural things and you don't accept. How then, at that point, will you accept assuming I discuss sublime things? 13. Nobody has at any point gone into paradise with the exception of the person who came from paradise, the child of man. 14. Similarly as Moses lifted up the snake in the wild, so the child of man should be lifted up. 15. That each and every individual who accepts may have everlasting life in him. 16. For God so cherished the world that he gave his solitary child, that whoever puts stock in him will not die however have timeless life. Examples from John 3 verse 3. John 3 is a strong section, where Jesus discusses the new profound life that must be tracked down through the acknowledgement of God's adoration and the choice to hold nothing back from the ruler. Jesus supports Nicodemus, as he energizes us, to accept. Despite the fact that nobody has at any point gone into paradise with the exception of the person who came from paradise. The section completely addresses confidence in what Christians have not found in the actual domain, but rather yet know to be valid in the otherworldly domain, the ideal blessedness of God. Jesus likewise makes devotees a serious commitment. Every individual who accepts will have timeless life in him. This is certainly not an everlasting genuine life, however something substantially more impressive, timeless life in paradise with God.